eyeballs are on the prize as 4 squads each seek a place in the championship match. I'm Mia Cabalfin.
Find out if this year's finals will turn out to be a rematch or a new cast of contenders will show up. I'm Mariel Benitez.
So join us in the next half hour as we take one step closer towards the journey in this coveted cup. I'm Paulo Buendia, and this is
The United Football League. It's our game.
The first semi-final counter of the LBC UFL Cup was a clash of the Titans as the defending champion went up against an undefeated team that yielded only 1 goal while scoring 16 of their own. Now here's a preview of that highly anticipated battle.
Two top dogs are raring to slug it out as defending Cup champions Air Force Rider face the undefeated Union FC. In their quarterfinal battle against Navy FC, the Air Force overcame a sluggish start but managed to win comfortably to book a spot in the Final Four. This time, Coach Edwin Cabalida is counting on his team's vast experience and rock-solid teamwork to propel them to their title defense.
Year-round yung preparation namin because nasa service kasi kami. So yun yung kuha namin, siyempre trabaho namin na binibigay sa Air Force na mag-practice to give names para sa Philippine Air Force. Yung edge lang namin is yung matagal na kami as a team. So yung kalaban namin ngayon lang sila. So yun yung medyo lamang advantage namin. Game plan to pressure them early para magra-rattle. Yun, tapos pag magawa namin yung bola, so we take our chances.
A 2-0 win over Manila Sudanese club last weekend allowed Union FC to claim a semi-final berth against the Airmen. Coach Mao Rosen's side's win streak will be put to the test against the defending champs. UFL fans are in for a treat as two of the Cup's best squads battle to live up to their billing. It's Air Force Rider versus Union FC. Which side will prevail?
Did Air Force Rider land in the finals or did Union FC dethrone the champs? There's only one way to find out. The defending Cup champions Air Force Rider took to the pitch in Ayala Alabang Country Club to face the much vaunted and always dangerous Union FC. The opening 10 minutes gave both sides time to settle down and feel each other out. Furious action followed as Air Force keeper Joem Tolosa pulled off a good save in the 13th minute. Air Force striker and Ascal's veteran Ian Araneta made his presence felt more than 20 minutes into the match. A fine save by Union keeps the match scoreless. The defending champs broke the deadlock when Araneta struck in the 34th minute following an Air Force free kick. And just as the Airmen were about to settle down in the driver's seat, Union FC went on the attack, capped off by an impressive run by Sar Hamiru, who pulled off this screamer of a goal in the 43rd minute to level the match 1-1. The second half was littered with attempts on goal as both sides sought the potential match winner. However, as the afternoon sun dipped in the horizon, this semi-final encounter looked to be headed into extra time. But 20 minutes is still not enough to decide this clash of the UFL Titans. As darkness fell, the match came down to every player's nightmare, the penalty shootout. With the entire crowd in Ayala Alabang watching, 5 Air Force players and 5 Union players stayed on the pitch while their respective keepers found themselves in no man's land. Each keeper traded saves in the first 2 tries when goal scorers Araneta and Sar missed their mark. Air Force and Union then found the back of the net in their next 3 penalties. Air Force Riders, Randy Belaong, stepped up to take the team's fifth spot kick and did not disappoint, putting the pressure square on the shoulders of Union's Nicolas Leonora. But the football gods were not smiling on Leonora as his attempt agonizingly hit the crossbar to send Air Force Rider to the LBC UFL Cup Final 4-3 on penalties.
Kasi naglalaro kami as a team. So matagal na at saka sila medyo siguro during ganitong mga sitwasyon especially mga penalties siguro expose yung player namin ilang championship namin since since 2000 pa. So siguro may kumpiyansa ako sa mga players namin regarding sa mga penalties shootout.
I am proud of my players. They gave the best and I'm very proud. And the second thing, congratulations to Air Force because Air Force is the best team right now. And I hope during the league we can show better football and to give to all the supporters of UFL and the people who will watch the games to enjoy with our game.
Medyo nga yung match namin ito medyo mababa pa kasi galing kami sa training sa national team 1 week straight. So yung katawan namin mabigat, matitigas yung muscle. Pero ginawa talaga namin yung best namin para lang manalo sa game na to. Kasi yung Union bagong team lang yan sila, bagong buong team lang yan sila. Yung Air Force kasi dati pa magkakasama na. Tsaka binuo talaga siya simula ng umpisa para lang maglaro ng football. Tapos yung puso namin na gusto talagang manalo, yung siguro talaga yung nagpapanalo sa amin.
Semi-final match when we return.
Heart Evangelista. Siguro sa Ayala Triangle na lang.
Miley Cyrus. Siguro anywhere far in the beach.
Taylor Swift. Tagaytay, so it's cold.
Angelina Jolie. Greece. I think the place is really romantic and I've been wanting to go there.
Isa Calzado, and I'd take her to Boracay.
Good to have you back. For more on the recently concluded game between Union FC and Air Force Rider, here is the captain of the Philippine women's national football team, Mariel Benitez. Thanks, Mia. Well, the semi-final match between Union FC and Air Force was a very exciting match that had Air Force beating Union 4-3 in penalty shootouts. Now, the game started with Union FC dominating possession. They played very aggressively, winning most balls in the air. Several chances were made coming from their left winger, Hameru Sar, and striker Alex Obiang. Air Force, on the other hand, had difficulty penetrating the defense of Union FC and was only dependent on national team standouts Ian Araneta and Chiffy Caligdong. However, early in the match, Chiffy had difficulty moving as he was already nursing an injury. It was only on the 34th minute when Air Force broke the defense of Union FC with an Ian Araneta goal, a perfect pass off a free kick and just over the Union FC defenders. But the game only got more exciting as Union FC continued to play aggressively. It was on the 42nd minute when Hameru Sar scored a beautiful top corner goal that caught the Air Force goalkeeper off guard. With a score tied at 1-1, the second half had put a lot of pressure on the defending champion Air Force, and throughout the second half, Union FC continued to play hard, tearing down the defense of Air Force and creating a lot of scoring chances. Air Force also put some threat on Union's goal, but the goalkeeper was rock solid and had a lot of great saves. With the extension time coming to an end, Air Force substituted goalkeeper Earl Tomodas with veteran goalkeeper Edmundo Mercado, who successfully blocked one shot in the penalty shootout before getting help with a crossbar, thus winning 4-3 in the penalty shootout. So that was a very exciting semifinal match between Union FC and the Air Force. And my man of the match would be Ian Araneta for scoring that goal in the 34th minute, breaking down the defense of Union FC.
We'll bring you the other semi-final match after this quick break.
My special talent is playing sports, maybe basketball, soccer. Yeah, that's it.
I can do acrobatics. Like I used to be a tossed guy in cheerleading.
My special talent is playing golf. I used to play jungle before when I was young.
Sumakanta, sumasayaw.
All my life.
Welcome back. Only one seat in the finals is left, and before we find out who grabs the remaining ticket, let's take a closer look at the two teams fighting for that spot.
Group C powerhouse Army Fritz and Maxwell IBM meet a Global Smartmatic team on the upswing for a seat in the title match of the LBC UFL Cup. Global Smartmatic reached the Final Four through a hard-fought 1-0 victory against Stallions FC in the quarterfinals.
We've been preparing for this game for 4 months. We have a big adjustment, especially in the midfield area. In terms of individual, marami kaming mga players na normally mga quality players can really be effective during the game. Right now, we'll just play our game. Okay, I know Army is a tough team because they've been playing for so many years and we're only a young team. We're just preparing for 4 months. We'll just play with our game, with our own system.
On the other hand, Army coasted to a 4-1 win over Nomads FC in the last 8. But can they maintain the momentum heading into the semi-final?
Malamang kami sa kalaban namin, yung stamina at saka yung skills individual. Go to win kami. Parang manalo kami ngayon.
It's the old guard versus the young bucks. The Cup veterans versus the new kids in the league. Proof that this year's edition of the LBC UFL Cup has no shortage of exciting matchups.
Did Army Fritz and Maxiel IBM march into the championship round, or did Global Smartmatic continue its road to destiny? Let's check this out.
They had contrasting results in the quarterfinal round en route to the last 4, but Army Fritz and Maxiol IBM and Global Smartmatic were equally determined to advance to the championship match and win their first cup. While Army was looking for a return trip to the finals, Global was seeking a place in uncharted territory. Global controlled the game early on in the first half as it went on the offensive right away with several scoring opportunities from different angles. Meanwhile, Army didn't get its first real crack at goal until past the halfway mark of the opening half when its shot sailed wide left. Last year's runner-up almost grabbed the upper hand, but national team mainstay Roel Hener's header was anticipated by Global goalie Kenneth Dolioso. Global nearly took the lead just before the half ended, but they squandered their chance and both squads entered the break just like they started. A few minutes after the restart, Lady Luck smiled on Global as the ball accidentally hit an Army player's hand inside the box for an automatic penalty. However, Ascal's team captain Ali Borromeo flubbed a chip shot and the match remained scoreless. Global's foreign reinforcements had a couple more attempts, yet they all went for naught. With the clock ticking, it seemed to be a battle of the fittest as players ended up fighting off cramps. And with a scoreboard that read 0-0 after regulation, extra time was needed to decide the outcome. The first half of extra time was uneventful as nothing materialized from each side's efforts. Just as it seemed that the match was headed into a penalty shootout, a rough tackle on Ogefor Kusmat suddenly opened the door for Global Smartmatic. Getting a shot to redeem himself for his earlier miss, Ali Borromeo made sure this time around as he fired home the winning goal for his side. Global Smartmatic is on its way to the championship match. For constantly defending and moving forward, national team member Jerry Barbarso of Global Smartmatic is awarded Man of the Match honors.
Napifeel na namin na we're gonna get this semi-final against Army because of our preparation. We have a lot of chances, but we cannot convert it into a goal. So, but I told the boys to just continue what they're doing.
We pick apart the second semi-final encounter and look ahead to the championship matchup after these few messages.
Sexy is part of my body. I don't know, you have to ask my girlfriend. I don't know what she'd say about that.
I don't know. Legs?
Before it was my abs, but now I think it's my it's my what do you call it?
Dibdib. Kasi yun ang sabi ng iba eh, medyo may balbon konti.
If I were to meet President Noy Noy, I'd like to tell him that the country is maybe improving a bit economically.
I-open ko sa kanya siguro about football para ma-relate niya rin yung larong football.
I'd tell him to be more aggressive and just be more aggressive in general.
I'd probably ask him to help put a stadium in this country. I think that's one thing we're lacking. You know, we want to play in front of the fans, especially in Manila. We're playing in Bacolod, but capacity is not enough to accommodate everyone. But you know, hopefully in Manila someday we'll get a stadium going on.
I'd like to thank him and hope that he supports football.
You're still watching the United Football League. It's our game. Now here is former UAAP Rookie of the Year and Best Defensive Player of the Year, Paolo Buendia, for his expert analysis on what transpired between Army Fritz Maxiola IBM and Global Smartmatic.
The semifinal encounter between Global Smartmatic and Army Fritz and Maxwell was a thrilling encounter where both teams proved that they were worthy to be in the semifinals.
Global Smartmatic started out strong and peppered the Army goal early through attempts by Ali Borromeo and Kusmas. They had the lion's share of possession and the ball was mostly in Army's defensive half. As the first half progressed, Army gradually played themselves into the game and came up with their own attempts on goal, with Ascal Ronel Hener making a nuisance of himself in the left flank for Army. He had a spectacular header saved by Global's keeper. The second half started just like the first, with Global getting out of the gates early and stamping their authority on the game. Isildin El Habib and Kusmas were a source of danger every time they had possession of the ball. Army were content on attacking Global on the counter as their defense constantly soaked up the pressure. Credit to Army's defense as they were able to prevent Global from getting on the score sheet. Tragedy struck as Global was given a penalty near the end of the half. Ascal skipper Ali Borromeo stepped up and coolly chipped his spot kick down the middle. But his kick was too soft and Army's keeper was able to recover and catch the ball before it crossed the line. The miss meant that the game would go into extra time. In extra time, the same story unfolded as Global tried their best to score the winning goal. They dominated possession and their wingbacks provided dangerous overlapping runs on either flank. Our man of the match, Ascal Jerry Barbosa, played an almost perfect game on the right side for Global. He stopped any danger that went his way and attacked whenever the opportunity presented itself. Global's constant pressure bore fruit as Kusmas was brought down inside the penalty area. Ali again stepped up and made sure of his spot kick as he put the ball on the top right-hand corner of the goal, far away from the keeper's reach. Tense minutes ensued as Army tried to equalize, but in the end, Global Smartmatic prevailed.
So tune in next week for the finals.
Well, the stage is set and the cast is complete. Now let's get a glimpse of what to expect in the finals. Paul, Mariel, what do you guys think?
Well, if it's going to be between Air Force and Global, I think it's going to be an exciting matchup. Air Force being the defending champion with a lot of the national players playing with them, but also with Global because it's handled by the manager of the Ascals, Dan Palami. But I think Air Force would have an advantage over the Global Smartmatic.
Wow.
In this matchup, I'll go with Air Force as well because I think their teamwork is a lot better than Global's at the moment. Global has a lot of new players, so it's all recruits. So the teamwork in their team is not yet complete.
Yeah, but
so
then, sorry.
Go ahead. But they also have 3 national team players, but I think Air Force stands an edge in this matchup.
All right, so I guess that's going to be an exciting matchup for all of the football fans out there. Well, the final whistle has sounded.
For more on the UFL, log on to footballalliance.com.ph or look for LBC United Football League on Facebook.
Join us again next week as we bring you the finals. I'm Mariel Benitez.
And I'm Paulo Buendia.
And I'm Mia Cabalfin. And this is the
United Football League. It's our game.